Welcome to the Sports Report. I'm your host, Matt Kreiser. We've got a great show today. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver's problem, Oklahoma City Thunder forward Enes Kanter detained in Romania, plus Turkish thugs and free cars in Sacramento. So let's get right into it. The first topic, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver's problem. Yeah, that's essentially a half-ruined segment right there because the Celtics just beat the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. The Cavaliers were 10-0 in the playoffs. Now they're 10-1 after somehow losing at home to a Celtics team that was without star shooting guard Isaiah Thomas. So yes, my opinion that the NBA playoffs have been a waste of time to watch has been half ruined by tonight's upset. But let's listen to ESPN's Hannah Storm pose the question to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver anyways.
And I'm wondering if the dominance of the Warriors and Cavaliers is something that is a matter of concern in terms of competitive balance.
It's not a concern. I think that we should be celebrating excellence. I mean, people are already anointing these teams as dominant and franchise teams. But on the other hand, I look at the Golden State Warriors that hadn't won a championship in 40 years. The Cavaliers, of course, won last year and had never won a championship before in this league. I mean, as you know, you look back at the historic franchise in this league, Celtics with 17 championships, Lakers with 16. I think they have a long way to go before I would put them in that category. And, well, of course you want to see balance throughout the league. At the same time, when teams are excelling and playing at that level, I think it's, the fan in me, it's fantastic to watch.
So I think Adam Silver's half right and half wrong. You know, you got to keep in mind that everyone was worried in July when Kevin Durant left for the Warriors, and so far their fears have been realized. The Warriors have dominated. They're 11-0 in the playoffs, and they're probably going to sweep the Spurs. And yes, the Spurs are injured. Yes, Kawhi Leonard's out. Yes, Tony Parker's out. Yes, even David Lee's out. And yeah, guys are making a big deal about it. It's not that big of a deal. It's David Lee. Come on. But seriously, the injuries are just a symptom of the real problem. The Warriors are a super team. It's incentivized for the players to absolutely make these super teams, especially for someone like Kevin Durant who hasn't won a championship. They're worried about their legacy. They want to form these super teams. How do media guys judge these players? They judge them based on how many championship rings they got. And look, if I was a player, I'd do the same thing. I'd form a super team. Yeah, I'm a basketball player. I want to have a legacy. I want to be one of the best that there ever was. So seriously, guys, you need to understand that the players have a completely different incentive than the league. The league's a business. They want even competition. Adam Silver admitted it right there at the end of that clip. It's better for the league. It keeps the owners happier when it's all even competition. And yeah, the Celtics upsetting the Cavaliers tonight, that was great for even competition because Isaiah Thomas was out. And it looked like the Cavaliers were going to sweep to the finals too. And yes, the Cavaliers are still going to win that series, and it's still going to be the first time ever that two teams have met in the NBA Finals for 3 straight years. So they're still dominating, but we added a little wrinkle to the playoffs there because the wrinkle was supposed to be the Spurs. It was supposed to be Kawhi Leonard. It was supposed to be the Spurs shocking the Warriors in that Game 1 when they were up 20 before Kawhi got hurt, and that wrinkle's gone. So we're glad there's a new one. But we can still be real, and we can still recognize that, hey, the players want super teams because they're concerned about their legacy. They want to be like those Lakers back in the day, and they want to be seen as one of the greatest ever. And the league wants something else. They want competition because that helps ratings. And the NBA playoffs, they are designed to last a number of months when there's not competition from the NFL. They've got baseball beat. So it's a business, and there's a conflict there. So we should keep that in mind. Moving on, but sticking with the NBA, Oklahoma City Thunder guard Enes Kanter, yeah, he was detained in Romania on Saturday. It also happened to be his 25th birthday. You might ask, what crime did he commit? No crime in the United States, where freedom of speech is protected. However, Kanter's Turkish, and freedom of speech, yeah, it's not protected there. Kanter's Turkish passport was canceled on Saturday, most likely because he's a critic of Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Just watch this clip of Kanter while he was detained in the airport in Romania.
What's up, world? Just wanted to say we are in Romania, and they said they canceled my passport by Turkish embassy. The reason behind it is just, of course, my political views, and the guy who did it is, the Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the president of Turkey. And just you guys know him by, he's attacked the people in Washington. He's a bad man. He's a dictator, and he's the Hitler of our century.
Okay, well, I don't agree with Cantor that Erdogan is the Hitler of our century, but he is a bad man. We'll get to that. But I think this whole thing's absolutely crazy. And it's even scarier than Cantor makes it out to be. The U.S. government had to intervene on his behalf, with Oklahoma Senators Jim Inhofe and James Lankford making calls to the Romanian government with State Department help. Now, Cantor was able to be flown to London after these calls, and he's now back in the United States today. He's going to have a press conference tomorrow, Monday morning. But this was crazy. It was his 25th birthday. He's doing a charity tour around the world, and boom, passport canceled. He's got different political views. He opposes Erdogan, the president. A lot of people really see him as an authoritarian figure, a dictator. And this is evidence on that behalf, and we'll get to more evidence. But this whole thing here with Cantor, it's ridiculous, and it's scarier than that because while reports haven't come out yet, it's very likely that the Turkish government was seeking for Cantor to be extradited to Turkey and then arrested once extradited. It's the same thing they did with a lot of the generals who staged the coup, who attempted the coup, this past July in Turkey, trying to overthrow Erdogan. They failed. A lot of them fled to Greece, fled to different places. They fled to the UAE, all over the place, and a lot of them were extradited. So this could have been the same process. Now, Cantor, he only has a green card. He's not even a U.S. citizen, so I don't even know if he's a citizen of anywhere now because his passport was canceled. But he's allowed to work in the U.S. because of the green card. His passport was canceled. I don't know what his citizenship is. The whole thing's crazy. But yeah, Cantor, he wasn't joking. He was not joking about Erdogan attacking people in Washington. Check this out. Okay, so what you're looking at here is a video of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's bodyguards attacking protesters who are legally protesting. They're legally protesting in the United States, in the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Now the protesters are on the other side of the street. They're across the street from the Turkish embassy. Of course, the Turkish embassy is technically Turkish land that's under Turkish law. It's like a little mini Turkey inside the United States. And we have little mini United States around the world. Well, ours aren't so many. They're kind of like fortresses, I'll be honest. But you just got to see this video. I mean, now you know where both sides are. The bodyguards are on one side. The protesters are on the other. Now just watch this. This is where it gets bad. There go the Turkish bodyguards. Just totally attacking. Just totally attacking. You can see the United States police trying to hold them back, and they're just kicking protesters while they're down. Look at that. That's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. It's disgusting. Kicking women while they're down. You can hear that protester saying, they crossed the street. They attacked me. And it's true. You saw the video footage right there. There's other video footage that purports to show Erdogan, the president of Turkey, ordering the bodyguards to cross the street. I've watched the video. It's not totally clear whether he's getting out of the car, that he's in to look at the melee that's going on, or because he ordered it, and he has this weird, like, half smug look on his face like this. And you don't know if he's really, you can't tell. It's like the Mona Lisa. You're not sure whether he's smiling or frowning. You really don't know. So, these bodyguards, 2 of them were detained, but they have diplomatic immunity, We get it all over the world. We've got guys all around the world doing all sorts of things, and they get diplomatic immunity for this. I mean, it's awful that they get diplomatic immunity, but the truth is that foreign policy, it's tit for tat. We try to arrest all their bodyguards. They're going to do something to our people in Turkey, and we don't want that. We want to keep our military base in southern Turkey, where we do operations in Syria and Iraq. We've got nukes there. We've got a lot of strategic things that we've got to keep accounting for. So, if we do something that angers an authoritarian guy like Erdogan, he could pull the plug on our military base. He could, and some of you might say, well, good, stand up for it. Well, our guys decided not to. The State Department just issued a strong worded statement. That was it. And that's all we got, diplomatic immunity. And that's what happened. But I want to show you one more crazy video just to give you an idea. Half the people in Turkey really do support President Erdogan, and half the people sort of oppose him. So when the coup took place in July, half the people went out in the streets to try to stop it, and half of them kind of held their breath inside. Now, a month later, they had a crazy rallies around the country. I was there. I was working at the U.S. Embassy interning in Ankara, and I went to the rally in the capital that where they celebrated the coup failing and the people resisting it, and the coup being stopped. And in Istanbul, it was even crazier. That's like their New York City, and they had over 1 million people at this rally. Just check this out. Check out the popularity of Erdogan in his own country. He might not be popular here in the United States, but he can draw a crowd in Istanbul. So look, Erdogan's essentially got half the support in a country with over 70 million people. So he's got a lot of support. I mean, that Sea of Red looks like a scene out of Lord of the Rings when an army is preparing for battle. Doesn't even look real to me, honestly. Bottom line is this guy is going to be in power for at least another decade after he won a referendum in a couple months back that expanded his presidential powers. So get used to seeing news stories about him. Okay, last story. Sacramento public housing residents just got free zip cars. Yes, our state here in California succeeded in spending $1.3 million on 8 electric cars. You heard that right, $1.3 million? Yeah, we got eight electric cars for that. 8 Kia Souls, which retail for $32,500. So with $1.3 million, you could buy 80 of them. Yes, exactly 80. The math works out. 80 cars, not 8. Did you hear that, government? Be a little more efficient, maybe? Look, the program's funded through a grant from the California Air Resources Board using cap and trade funds that businesses pay to offset their carbon emissions. Great, so we're taxing businesses who are emitting carbon emissions. Totally fair. I'm sure China's doing the same thing. The cars will be shared between up to 300 residents of public housing with no charge for maintenance, insurance, or juicing up the battery. So it's all free. No insurance. You don't have to pay to juice it up. And there's no maintenance costs. Local leaders said it will provide green transportation options to disadvantaged areas where even simple tasks like getting groceries can be a challenge. So I guess the bus doesn't work there. There's no public transport, or you can't ride bikes. I don't know. But anyways, let's give this a shot. Let's just think about it. Let's be honest. Maybe we should be more generous. The world's becoming a more wealthy place. So my question to people is this. Even if you believe people in need should get free cars, do the benefits of the program warrant the cost? 8 cars, $1.3 million. That works out to $162,500 per car. A brand new 2017 Audi R8 costs $162,900. Yeah, so if you're wondering who the winners are here, let me be the first to tell you it's not the people getting the free 8 zip cars. Remember the cost of those zip cars? Yeah, all that extra cost, it's not making up for the insurance and all those other things. Yeah, there's some administrative fees. And let me be the first to tell you, they're still going to be living in public housing, and they're still going to be depending on the government. They're still going to be poor. There's still going to be community problems. There's still going to be gangs. These zip cars aren't going to solve it. What it really is crony capitalism. The socialist experiment, it doesn't work. I'm sure Zipcar is going to get a great profit margin on this deal. Maybe even some tax credits too. You should go ask them. Or ask the California Air Resources Board. I'm sure they'd love to tell you. They're the people eating up the bulk of this $1.3 million in wasteful administrative fees. Listen, part of my senior project is on low-income housing. I've seen it. I've seen these for-profit businesses that come in and get in bed with the government and make a ton of money off the government because the government chooses to accept their application. And I promise you, they are making millions of dollars, whether it be in tax credits or straight income. They're doing just fine. But instead of it being free market competition, the government picked them as a winner. So there's room for corruption. The bottom line here is, listen, the socialist experiment doesn't work. It's crony capitalism. But Darrell Steinberg, the mayor of Sacramento, he disagrees, saying, quote, "It's providing accessible transportation to low-income housing people using the newest, cleanest technology. This is the definition of environmental justice." I think it's truly an efficient use of $1.3 million. I'll let you guys decide. That's all the time we got for today. This is the Sports Report with Matt Kreiser, and hopefully next time we get a little more sports in. See you next week.